World Sports Betting Saturday morning show. Very good morning to you. Just gone 7 o'clock. It's time to talk about sport, racing, and a whole lot of other stuff in between. We've got Liam in the gallery. He'll be chatting about Curry Cup in just a moment. We've got Rod, we've got Terry, we've got Dom Zaki, and we've got Richard Tannis, who's joined us today as well. Been a while since we've seen you. How do we find you on this Saturday morning, and what brings you here?
Well, it's our last show today. I'm going to miss everyone and I miss the crowd. But yeah, we're going to talk sports, enjoy ourselves, and
We've done you proud, haven't we? I mean, between the how many of us that have come on, the regulars, including Gary, 5 of us have done you guys proud, haven't we?
I think everyone's done us proud. We miss Gary, obviously.
Yes, we tipped a lot of losers, so we've boosted your bank account.
Look, obviously we miss Gary. I mean, his expertise is second to none. I think everyone has. It's been a great value add for our brand, and we'll miss the show and that, but we'll keep boxing on.
Absolutely. World Sports Betting, you're going nowhere. They'll still be around. You'll be able to get on worldsportsbetting.co.za. Next week, we will have a different look, but we'll worry about that on Charity Mile. I'm actually going to get to Dom at the end because he's not got much time on the show today. Cox Plate comes up later on. Terry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Dogs climb on you this morning?
Yeah, all over the shop, mate. Yeah, look at the ears. Another warm welcome when you wake up.
Yes. I'm glad the dogs give you one.
Yeah, it's very old, matey. I've been to the dogs for a long time. Otherwise?
No, not much. Man United let you down last week.
They did. What a bet that would have been. They even went down to the Championship and got that one right. But there we are. Man United against Huddersfield. What was it? 64 years? It was about the time I was playing, I think, pretty well.
A bit longer.
Played at Huddersfield, changed, different pitch they play on now, of course, but then they had some outstanding player, Ray Wilson, of course, World Cup
who could
player,
forget?
played there. Trevor Cherry eventually went on to Leeds United, and 1 or 2 others. A real good side, and but that's amazing. 64 years since they've met. So, and what a disappointment! What a poor performance from a Man United show who were told.
I don't support them
I suppose you're going to support Spurs.
On to Spurs straight away.
Well done.
And then, and then when they lose today, you'll be back.
When they bring Bromovich back, I'm straight back in there. I'm missing. He'll be back.
He'll retire soon. He's older than Terry.
Well, you're looking at it.
No, they were disappointing, AG, last week.
No.
By the way, how did you find your way to work this morning?
Are you talking about that? Yeah, what a day yesterday. I had a new GPS, not a new system fitted, but updated. I went from GAR maps, which have now stopped. So I went to TomTom, and they then put a new little thingy bob.
Tom?
Yeah.
Is that drums?
No. It's like it tells you where to drive, GPS in your car. So I had to get that upgraded. What an experience, boys. Whew. Not a fun day.
What language was the lady or man talking in?
Well, something I didn't understand. I was very cranky yesterday because nothing worked.
She got a name?
No, well, there's a few of them. Anyway, I wasn't a happy camper, eh? I was not a happy camper, and it's still not working now.
Has your mood improved?
No, I'll be back there Monday. If you're watching, I'm coming Monday. I was cranky yesterday. You wait till Monday. Sure. Anyway.
Dom, you had a good day yesterday. Not so much the punting stakes, but you gave me a call about 7 o'clock last night. Didn't understand a word, but have you studied for today?
Yeah, I gave you extra shift yesterday, Alistair.
Did you?
You should be chuffed
It's
about
not what
that.
you told me.
Okay. Yeah, we studied very hard. We
Did you?
Study the whole
Cox
day
Plate
yesterday.
today, Matty.
Cox Plate.
Winks?
Winks is going for a 3rd Cox Plate. Phenomenal filly. Sure, one of the best in the world. Let's see what happens, but she can't lose.
What's the distance, Tom?
2,000.
Yeah.
Should you get 2,000?
Yeah, she's won it twice already.
Yeah.
But is this a different track?
Oh, it's
No,
the same
she's-
race, Terry.
She's won the same race twice, and now she's going for the 3rd
They
time.
stay at the same
It'd be
race,
like saying,
same track.
Well, she get
Same
the
track,
2-2
yeah.
at Durban, July in Cape Town. That's what you're asking.
Well, sometimes they change venues, mate.
They don't,
It's
mate.
not the Breeders' Cup.
Pardon?
Right, 2 races that you've got to talk about today.
okay.
Let's have a look at the one before the Cox Plate, see if you got anything. By the way, how good was racing yesterday from Moonee Valley? I was here with you. Out the top draw.
Top class. Yeah, there were some good races.
Manikato, yeah.
That Chautauqua got scratched at the start. There was
I saw that.
the crowd was going mad, and there's a steward inquiry because of that. They said that it shouldn't have been scratched, so we'll see. Yeah.
And listen, don't shoot the messenger. I was watching. It was a female. I shouldn't have said that, should I?
No,
A
you
vet.
better not.
There was a female vet,
Oh,
wasn't it?
okay.
Yeah.
An X chromosome.
No, I'm not saying she's a female. I'm just saying I was watching with interest yesterday when it
Yes,
happened.
yes.
And it looked like, and the word went through to the commentator to say, all clear to
All
run.
to
which
run,
he
correct,
announced.
100%. Yeah, so they said she was all clear to run, and then
Yes.
all of a sudden, She played up one more. He played up one more time and then scratched.
Gone.
Yeah. So it's,
And the favourite, wasn't it?
yeah, and nothing happened. to the horse.
Second
That's what-
favourite.
That was
Second favourite. But Chautauqua's got a huge following in Australia,
Yeah.
obviously. So that's why the
Huge.
crowd
Yeah.
went to
How's the
please.
crowd for a night meeting, eh?
Amazing.
What an amazing crowd.
unbelievable.
To show you put out the good horses, the people will
The
come.
big will come, 100%.
Okay.
And today we tip in, as you saw on the screen. I think
Well, let's
we'll
get
put
that
it
betting
on.
back
yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's somewhat. I think will win this race, and it's got all the good form lines. Dropped in class quite a bit. It's got a great draw.
Who's
and-
riding it?
Karen McAvoy. You know,
love
I
Karen,
promise you I was going to say that because you like him.
You're going to say that.
I promise you.
I'm a huge follower of Karen McAvoy, and yeah, he's come to the light. He won the big race last week, or 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Have you done much, Tom, on Dom's tips or not?
Well, last week,
Be honest, don't be nice.
Don't-
Last
don't-
week they
don't go
made
to
money.
last week,
That
go
was
to
about the
last
only
week.
time.
last week was a good week for us, but I mean, we got Dom so he could give something back to the clients.
So most weeks you have to give the money back because they don't finish in the first four. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, Dom's
unfair.
tips are
But
pretty
you can
solid.
ask Ricky. I spoke to Rainer the other day, and Rainer, is it right, Rainer? eh?
Yeah.
As Terry calls him.
I got
Ryan.
it right now.
So does Graham Hawkins last night, yes?
Yeah, I saw that we did okay, so from when the World Sports Show started until now, we had a 52% average, which is very good.
Very
It's
good.
not as good as my Tog Sport.
No,
and we need to quickly get on to the next race, the Cox Plate.
Yes.
Sorry, Ricky.
Look, it's unfortunate that I have to tip on this race because Winks is absolute certain. It's not unfortunate, but look at the price, 127.
What would you back without the favourite, Dom?
You know what?
There's Happy Clapper again.
There's a number of
Every
horses.
Saturday.
Remember
Yeah,
that, yeah.
it's you know, there's nothing that's at a race for second. They're all racing for second.
Yeah.
in my
100%.
opinion.
But that's
yeah.
where the field is. I mean, you can't back Wink.
Where's,
You know
she,
what?
where's she drawn, Dom? Because it's important. You know, it's only
No,
a 250
she's
metre
drawn
run.
well, eh? She's drawn well. She's
Is
drawn.
she?
But her problem is sometimes she doesn't jump,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
it.
why they put the earmuffs on. And now she jumps very well. Yeah, if I wasn't going to back Winks, it'll be a wide open race. And they all talking about this horse, Royal Symphony. The gallop was great. The trial gallop was great. They had it was just landed 2 days at the course, and they had a big write-up, and they're showing the horse being showered, hosed down. And they're saying that is the main danger, Royal Symphony.
I'll tell you what you can actually do, because now Rod has to start tipping Australian racing from soon. You can actually give Rod the website that you found all that information from. Because he said here this morning, I don't have a clue where to find everything.
Rubbish. I follow it like you won't believe.
Okay, you got 10 seconds now. Dom, thank
Yes.
you very much for stopping by. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And yeah, you've been a big part of World Sports Betting's campaign. So
Yeah.
we'll get Liam to replace you, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, thanks to all sports and the guys out there, and thanks to the lovely panel I got you.
Jeez, very nice, Dom. Thank you.
All right, we're going over to Moonee Valley. We're shouting home, it's somewhat. And then after that, it'll be Winks, and Liam will be replacing Dom. And we'll move into the Curry Cup final later today.
His first and his third run was good. His second run was terrible. So he likes the valley, so I reckon he'll run home well.
So he'll be back off speed.
Yeah, he'll be middle of the pack, strong late.
One horse we expect to be up on speed, if not in front, is Burning Front, who's just a prolific runner. He's an absolute ripper for the stable.
Yeah, I thought he looked great. Paraded great. He's had a great week. He'll either lead or he'll be outside the leader and make his own luck, and he's in great shape.
With your assessment of the track, where do you expect the best place to be on the course? Is it up on speed, hard against the rail?
It seemed like Pete's walked it, and he still thinks the inside's as good as anywhere. But I see they're starting to run on a little bit out wide, so it might be starting to even up a bit. So I don't think it's pretty fair.
All right, and of course, with the big one not too far away, Galo Shop and also Humidor, inside this last hour or so, you happy with both?
Yep, they both look really, really good. Both horses are nice and settled out the back, and hopefully they'll get their chance.
All right, good luck here in the Group 2.
Thanks, Shane.
Darren Weir there with two very strong chances here, including Burning Front, who he's just a wonderful horse. 18 career wins, a further 19 career placings from 52 starts. He never knows how to run a bad race. You'd love to have one like him. And he is currently out to $6 after opening at $4.80. He got into $4.60 briefly. Religify is the one they're coming for here, Gator. Now into $4.60, and it's somewhat certainly got admirers at $4.40. And we're also seeing Sound Proposition getting support into $5.50.
Yeah, punters aren't steering away from those on speed. They expect Religify to probably kick up and lead Burning Front. It somewhat may get the rails trail. So I think that's what punters are still gravitating to, those sort of on-rail, on-speed horses, Shane.
Just a minor delay here. Antonio Giuseppe is just being resaddled behind the barriers there, so hopefully that won't take too long. Of course, he's being ridden by Craig Williams for Chris Waller. Just talking the tactics here, so we know Religify burning front going forward. Lucky Hustler, we heard from Darren, will be back off speed. I'm finding it's somewhat interesting to sort of plot here. Will he try and hold his inside barrier? Will he try and hold the lead, or would he be best suited taking us in?
Look, I'd be surprised if he had the natural speed to lead Religify, if Religify really wanted it. And Burning Front's even in the same boat, so I expect him to be sort of third defence. Sound Proposition from that draw can be close up as well, and another one who's been backed as you referenced.
In that interview with Darren Weir, he mentioned Peter Ellis, who does a lot of work for the stable. He's considered one of the best track walkers in Australia. And Darren saying that Peter feels that the inside is as good as anywhere and probably the place to be.
Yeah, look, it is obviously holding up really well, isn't it? We saw Minter drop out then, but that was too bad to be true from her. The previous 3 circle races, the leaders had won.
The loading for the Group 2 Schweppes Crystal Mile, here's Matt.
So the last few to get set, Antonio Giuseppe, who just had that adjustment behind the gates, has just been trotted around by an attendant and also the clerk of the course. So Antonio Giuseppe being brought forward with the barrier attendant, just went for a jog down the track after that adjustment. Lucky Hustler coming forward now. So interesting to see what happens early here. We saw them push up on the pace in the previous. As we see Antonio Giuseppe, Craig Williams taking an outside stall. Sound Proposition stands well with Religify. Burning Front out wide. They're set, ready, and racing at the 1600 metres. Religify began very quickly, wants a piece of the action with Burning Front, who's just going to get its bib in front of Religify after 150 metres. 3 further back, Sound Proposition, followed by on the inside It's Somewhat as they head towards the back from Lucky Hustler. Then Calderon, Petrology, Windspell and Antonio Giuseppe. Religify is going to hold the front here. They've gone quite hard. 1200 metres out, Religify, 3/4 Burning Front, 6 or 7 Sound Proposition, It's Somewhat. 2 lengths to Lucky Hustler would be lapping this up. 4 lengths Calderon, followed by Antonio Giuseppe, Petrology and Windspell. So Religify looking for a breather. Comes towards the top corner at the 850 by a length Burning Front. 6 lengths Sound Proposition on the outside of It's Somewhat. 1.5 lengths Lucky Hustler. 2 lengths Calderon, Antonio Giuseppe. Then came Petrology and Windspell to the side of the course at the 600. Religify being softened up by Burning Front. Their 3 lengths Sound Proposition, It's Somewhat, followed further back by Lucky Hustler, Antonio Giuseppe, Calderon, Windspell, Petrology. But Religify coming up towards the turn at the 350, 3/4 Burning Front. Lucky Hustler's ambling up on the outside, 3 deep. They were followed by Sound Proposition and It's Somewhat. Around the turn, Religify's been softened and Lucky Hustler glides on by. Lucky Hustler with 100 metres to go has taken the lead from Religify. It's Somewhat, Windspell late, but it's all the Hustler. Lucky Hustler's going to bolt in. Scored by 2.5. Religify, It's Somewhat, and Sound Proposition. Then Burning Front, Windspell, Antonio Giuseppe, Calderon, and Petrology.
Sure, another message. Another one. Ricky, coming thick and fast. Bank account going up, up, up. Well done.
Ding,
Dom
ding,
Zaki
ding,
got a
ding,
horse to run third. It's Somewhat.
Well, he had to at least give us something back.
No, overdue. This is your last show, so that's probably his way of saying thank you.
Yeah,
Can he
this
stop
was-
Winks?
this
He
was
can't
good.
stop Winks though, can he?
No, he can't stop Wings. That horse is amazing. It's a race for second. I think the horse that Dom said was what was it called?
The Danger, yeah, the rule.
That other
yeah,
horse.
yeah.
That's probably your best bet for a place.
Yeah.
Royal Symphony.
Yeah, Royal
Yeah.
Symphony. But Winks you can take as a banker with whatever your multiple is for today in local racing.
Yes. Winks on to the winner of the Curry Cup, or no?
No.
We're on to United.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, like-
Liam's here. Curry Cup final today. You busy? You're going straight from here. You two are going to race each other to the airport, aren't you?
Are we? What route are you taking?
I'm going down to the Windy City, and you're going to...
No, I meant the route to the airport.
My GPS not working, so I'm taking...
You don't know which one he's going.
You know what annoys me with that? I pay the cash, right, and the other one I had in was fine, but it was outdated, so you just upgrade. Now, that one used to talk to me and tell me where to go. This one's not talking. So how do you fix that? Why would it not talk to me?
You need to
This is
go
the
to
wrong show for
You
that.
need to go into the settings.
Yeah.
I did that.
Or either that or go and get a ventriloquist.
Anyway, sorry, I'm going, I don't know, only one way to go, isn't it? On the highway and then turn left at where the
There is only-
barricades were yesterday. You wouldn't have got there yesterday.
No.
You wouldn't. Hopefully it's all
Clear.
clear this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Jeez. Can't afford to
Leave
miss
a
that
bit
flight.
earlier. Yeah.
But Rod, what do you mean it won't talk to you?
Look, the other one, so I put in
like at home.
my favourite. So I put in like,
It's like they're trying to make it more of a real life experience.
the other one I put in like Kruger Park at which gate, and it just tells me how to get there, which I know, but it's always just a backup in case you're dreaming. So it's just not talking. It's not saying to me. It's showing on the picture on the screen where to go, but it's not saying 300
left
metres,
here,
turn
3
left,
left,
and turn
yeah.
right. So
Because you're a responsible driver and you look at the road the whole time,
exactly
don't you?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're a better driver than Cloud and Nico are.
And Neil for that. Throw in Neil Andrews.
Tell you what,
You've been with
Neil
him.
actually drove us to the Val on Tuesday. We made it in one piece, but I'll never ever go in the car.
who's that?
Cloud and Nico. Neil.
Are they texting as well?
Nico I don't know what's wrong with his eyes. After he commentates, I actually
Yeah, you could have
should
a
have
fair
added
idea.
2 and 2
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
But Cloud the whole way. Someone has to actually hold the wheel. While
Neil's
Cloud drives.
crazy,
Same as Neil.
But Neil's drives fast, eh? He said when I
The
drove
good news
him,
is that his current car
when I
can't go
drove
more than
him-
80 k's an hour.
when I drove him, he said it was like driving with Miss Daisy.
Yeah. Oh, with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we?
You know, Liam, you got a nice new car.
The GPS in that car is amazing, fantastic graphics. You say
Can
something.
he get a
and
lift
it's
then?
just like,
Oh, can I follow you? Where are you parked?
All right, well, let's talk about rugby because we're off to Durban. Well, Liam's off to Durban. Some of us are going to be staying here. And I don't know if you saw, yesterday there was racing at Greyville and it poured with rain. And the forecast
and
is not much better
although
today.
it probably won't rain during the game, I think there's been enough rain there to influence the game. In other words, it will become a very tactical game. I don't think the Sharks, even if it was quite dry, would have tried to extend themselves. I think they're going to be very tactical in this game. Western Province, however, will try and create a little bit of mayhem. But I don't think much will separate the two sides at final whistle.
Spread 5.5 at the moment. Is that about 5.5?
Has it been 5.5 all week, Ricky?
It has changed. It's been up and down, hovering around that point, 6.5, 4.5. But at the moment, it's 5.5. And I think with the rain, the plus doesn't look like a bad bet.
Yeah.
I think.
Where's the cash coming for during the week? Which?
Well, I mean, a lot of guys are going for. Obviously, the Sharks have had a great run in the tournament, but Province with the recent form, a lot of guys are looking at them. Remember, they beat the Sharks
Correct,
a couple of
2 weeks
weeks
ago,
ago,
yeah.
and they beat the Lions. I think 17 to 10 is a good price. I've got a feeling Province might take it.
I've got a feeling you're a Province supporter. Liam, how much does that game 2 weeks ago impact? Can we read too much into that?
I don't think we can. I will look back to the first game that they played this season, where the Sharks went down to Newlands and were on the back foot for the bulk of that game, but still came out winning that game 21-20. But I think Western Province in that game showed that they are actually capable of dominating the Sharks. But, you know, as I said, I mean, the Sharks were able to ride those punches. They were on the back foot for a lot of that game, but they came through it. For me, the Sharks will be favourites, there's no question. They've only lost 2 games. The first league game of the season they lost, and they lost their last league game. In between, they were fantastic. Western Province, inconsistent until about halfway through the season. But have done very well since.
Where's the momentum? My favourite word.
The momentum, I would imagine, will be slightly more with Province because of that last result in Durban.
So I'll have the belief to go out and beat them, yeah. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't read too much into that game, to be fair. I mean, the Sharks didn't really have a lot to play for.
Any players coming back or missing out? Or?
The Sharks have only made one enforced change, and that's on the wing. So, I mean, they've gone for the tried and tested. Whereas Province have had to rearrange the deck chairs a little bit, a couple of changes in their line, especially in the back row.
For the better, in your opinion?
They've had a few injury issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about the whole Dupree dynamic? Because there's all this talk that the Province Fly Half is going to be wearing the Sharks kit next year, which was looking almost certain. But then, wouldn't he like to get, I'm talking about Rob Dupree, the Province Fly Half, wouldn't he like to get a Currie Cup trophy on his way out of Western Province if he does actually leave and put one over his father?
He's had a history of upstaging the family dynamic, a couple of times. So, in fact, I think there's a quote from Robert Senior this week where he said he's sick and tired of this kid in these big matches when he's been the coach and this guy's playing against him, where Robert Jr. has done very well. So there is a history there. He tends to up his game when he's up against his dad. But I suspect today it's going to be different. I just feel the Sharks have the forwards.
I read one report about the Sharks about they can play any kind of game. They were sort of being accused, what I was reading, that they kick the ball a lot. Apparently,
they have the players to play different styles, but I think they were leaning more towards I don't want to say conservative, but they have been less likely to give the ball to play with width than some of the other sides. You've got the Bulls, who have kind of revolutionised the Currie Cup this season with 67 or 64 tries. Brilliant. By far the most. Yeah.
That was just one half.
The Lions have done this for seasons, and Western Province under Robbie Fleck, in Super Rugby under Robbie Fleck, have embraced this as well. So, the Sharks have been pragmatic, and I suspect they will be the same in the final. I mean, you can't imagine them deviating from their script.
Yeah, I was interested in the tactics, just when they were almost accusing them of kicking the ball and not ball in hand and throwing it. In other words,
what do you think about the goal kicker?
There's more ways of playing the game than just by throwing it about. That's what he was.
Yeah, and that's probably the way to go in a Currie Cup final. I mean, Western Province will have to try and create a little bit of mayhem. The conditions won't suit them, but I think they have game breakers in their side that can make a difference. And also they've got a very canny coach in John Dobson.
A lot of talk about the drop goal, in the press trying to build it up during the week to say, watch out, he's going to drop goal.
The team more likely to win by the odd drop goal will be the Sharks, and that's Kerwin Bosch.
Okay.
That's the bet.
And I think also, like you said, it's probably going to be a close game. Yeah. And we've got a promotion running as well. It's got to throw it in.
Oh, good. Get it.
If your team loses in the last 5 minutes, you'll get your money back refunded.
That's a big possibility.
2,000 rand.
So say Western Province.
Is this in regular time up to 80 minutes?
This is up to 80 minutes.
Only 80 minutes, okay.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be a close game because of the rain. And obviously,
so explain that.
So hang on. I was just thinking. So if after 76 minutes, Province are up 20-16, and the Sharks go and score a try,
you will get your money back.
If you back Province.
Yes.
Really?
Whoosh. You know what I'm actually going to do?
What if it's one of those odd games that go up to 84 minutes?
Very good.
Well, I mean, it counts up to 80 minutes. It counts up to 80 minutes. Obviously, the extra time, it's like your Premier League where it says 90 minutes, but you play at extra time, so it will still count. Okay. If they win in that 83rd or 84th minute, you will still get that.
That's very generous on a day like today, actually.
Yes.
So, what do you think? On the spread?
I was going to ask that question.
Oh, go on, you do it then.
What is it, 5.5? It's probably about right given the conditions as well. I mean, geez. But I still favour the Sharks to win it. If they win it by 6, so be it. But
yes. Rod? Wait.
No, this is Rod. Nightmare.
Let's put it this way. It is also very difficult for the away team to win a Currie Cup final. We saw in the 90s quite a number of teams. I think on 5 out of the 10 occasions, the away team won. But
that's 50% of the time.
But since then, since 2000, it's been around 30%. There's only been 5 away winners since 2000. And Western Province have done that a number of times.
What was that
Very
game?
subtle socks, those.
What was that game, the final?
Beyond Borgs.
Blue and white hoops.
Oh, come on.
Has some Adams colours.
Western Province colours.
What was that game? When we were working at Arlington that day.
Oh, yeah.
You've got no idea. Talking about rugby. So where they got up to win in the last minute, I remember Bumpy coming over on the course saying, "They've got up, they've got up."
And you thought a race had just happened?
No, I knew he wasn't talking about racing because he picked the winner. But so. Remember that game?
I can give you the winner. Give me a year and I'll tell you about the game.
Bumble knows, whatever you call it.
It was the Blue Bulls and I think it was the Sharks in the last try of the game in the last minute or something.
That was the Super Rugby final when Banner scored right in front of me, 2006.
It could also be, Alistair, it could also be, because he said Blue Bulls, it could also be Tony Watson running clear 1990.
He wasn't here in 1990.
I was here in 1990. I arrived here in 1985.
He's been here forever.
I'll tell you in a minute.
When are you going back?
We can't. That's what I'm just going to say.
Not with the Rand now, boy.
No.
What?
You got dual citizenship, haven't you?
No.
You've got Australian and you've got South African.
No.
Can't get in, need a visa from now on.
No,
They've kicked them all out of the government. I've seen that. You can't go.
You're like Donna. You ask the question and answer
But
it.
I'm just
well,
telling
ask me if I've got a South African one.
You have.
I haven't.
Of course
How
you
would you know if I've got
Of course, I've seen it.
Yeah,
and I've seen your thing as well. Yes.
Well, it's got-
you know.
I haven't.
You can't get back in, matey.
I haven't got a South
Banned. Fancy them kicking them out of the government.
So you got kicked out of the UK, you've been kicked out of Australia, now you've landed up here.
Yeah.
There's not many places left.
And
to
you've
go.
been kicked out of the GPS shop.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'll be back there Monday, don't you worry.
Ricky, who do you think's going to win it?
I think Province. I know it's a bit of an outside bet, but I think value for money, you've got to go for Province. And
What
if
are 16 to 10 to lift the cup?
17 to 10.
17 to 10
It's
in
unbelievable
80
price
minutes,
in a
16 to
tourist
10
race,
to
eh?
lift the cup.
Yes.
Obviously, that's just because of the draw.
Yeah.
That
And
the
home
price shorts
advantage,
to lift
of
the
course.
cup. I think Province, they like Rod said, the momentum is with them.
Momentum?
I can't
Well
stand
done,
it.
Rod.
No,
So-
they'll have the belief. After going there 2 weeks ago
Belief.
and beating them, they'll
And
have the belief they can do it
They
again.
can beat the Sharks. I know it was a different game. Obviously, you know, the Sharks who had already qualified and they were probably just a bit relaxed. But I got a feeling Province, you know, away, they got
It's a
quite
great
decent
price in a
record.
two-horse race. Eh?
Look,
17
if any team can rattle the Sharks at home, it probably is Western Province. But that also goes back to the way they are coached. So they have to get their tactics spot on.
Yeah, Rod, this will probably come down to the team that has the most gears.
The team who wants it more is one of my
Have you
favourites.
put out, were you part of the reward for that? Do you know what we're talking about? The Springbok side's been looking for their gears and no one's found it. Can you put
Jeez.
out they put out bucks for it. Because every time they lose, they say, no, they've lost their gears.
So who's going to win in your book?
Mate, you'll see my bet coming up. I think on the spread, 5.5 at 9 to 10. I just think it's an unbelievable bet. When the side 2 weeks ago beat them there, so they will go there with belief we can do it again. They really do.
Like Man United last week against
No, that's unfair.
Who do you think's going to win, Terry?
I haven't got a clue, but if you often tell me about how close it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we've had it 2 or 3 times this year, haven't we? Liam, we've had the draw, haven't we?
You can't rule it out today.
Not impossible.
You know, what would that be? 25 to 1?
No, what was it there? I think it was, would you get at least
25 to 1.
25.
Yeah, I mean,
That could be
$100
quite
on
tasty as
that.
well.
What
Yeah.
happens there, Liam? Is it a replay or they go to penalties?
No,
or-
they share the trophy.
Oh, they share it?
Yeah,
Don't
remember
get
that
no
happened,
extra
that
time?
happened, what, 2009? Cheetah's
No, 2007. It's happened 2007. It's happened in 79. It happened in 89.
So it has happened.
Rod's son wants to know, do they cut it in half? That's a stupid question.
Well, he's...
If you look at the Curry Cup now, it's so old. It looks like it's been patched up.
All right,
just
so
quickly,
Maybe because they cut it in half.
Yeah, exactly. So many times.
Rod, you know that Australia are playing the Barbarians right now?
yeah.
Do you want to know what the score is?
Where is it?
No, what is the score?
Come up right now on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
You're losing.
It's one of the best barbarian sides. If you looked at it on paper that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is strong.
Australia just scored.
There you go. Well,
It's not such a good Barbarian
Actually,
side.
let's talk about that last week. You've got to give it a bit of airtime. Who
No, we
would have
don't.
thought and who would have tipped it that Australia would get up to win?
Everybody tipped
I think,
it.
yeah, to be fair,
to be
everybody
fair,
is
everybody
like,
who was
saying
saying
that
Liam,
even
even
New
Terry
Zealand
G,
went-
I would-
yeah.
no.
Dom said, no, I like Australia. Dom's never watched a minute of rugby in his life.
Yeah.
This is quite surprising because Australia went into this game as big favourites.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, it's only 3 minutes into the game. Give them a chance.
They were 1-5
Eh? Were they?
in this game, yeah.
What was,
An
the,
hour
what was the
gone.
spread? What was the spread there?
Yes, the spread was, I don't know the spread, I know they were 1-5 though.
Must have been big in favour of Australia.
Yeah.
It's an hour down.
It's all right. Well, they're a point up, so it's fine. They've got the kick to come.
Just quickly before we move on to football, because we do want to talk about football, massive Premier League action today. Springbok squad gets named tomorrow, Liam. Expecting any surprises?
No, not huge ones, I don't think. There's been a couple of names mentioned in the last few weeks. John Mitchell, I know, has talked up Piers Koeman, one of his... Exactly, but that's his choice, I suppose, to back his players. Look, I mean, at end of year tour, there is always one or two names that will come up and, you know, they seem like left field selections. But then again, if you look at the guy's record through the Curry Cup or through Super Rugby, you'll say that, well, probably deserving.
Weren't they playing England when they go on that tour, Liam?
Why don't they?
They
Yeah.
didn't qualify, Terry. You got to.
Top of the-
Because it's a schedule that's set, it's a roster that's set like a
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will play, or New Zealand will play England next year. I'm not sure if the Springboks will, but New Zealand will. A much anticipated encounter. But it's those things that you don't organise sort of last minute. It's been sort of cast in stone for.
Okay.
Australia playing.
But they'll play
obviously.
Ireland, they'll play France, they'll play
Yeah.
Italy, they'll play
Wales.
Wales at the end. Yeah.
Are you going to the end of your tour?
At this stage, it looks like it.
Another free trip.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work, Tel.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, what do you do when you go on a free trip? You hand out trophies and shake people's hands.
Yeah, it's
You know, he owed me $50. He pulled money out of his pocket, and guess what it was? It was in guineas. I didn't even know what they were. It's from
1,000 guineas, 2,000
Yeah,
guineas. Yeah.
All right, now let's move on to football. I think we touched base with all the rugby this weekend. Football, Terry, massive game to kick off with
Yeah,
at
it
Old
is.
Trafford.
Yeah, it's just been spores a little bit, hasn't it? Harry Kane not being available for Tottenham, and that's a massive blow. I don't care how they're going to play. I think the interesting part for me now is how is Tottenham going to set themselves up? You know, is the big boy going to come in, Llorente, you know, up front, or were they going to play with a false number 9 to give them a bit more movement? I think you're going to have to wait and see exactly what the team selection is. For Man United, looks like, again, there seems to be injury problems for all the teams this weekend. But for Man United, again, is Barley going to be back at centre-back? Not one that I fancy, by the way. Jones looks like he might have recovered. So it depends, you know, depends a lot, really does, on team selection. But more about how Tottenham are going to cope without Harry Kane, who scored over 50% of their goals.
You don't think in this game that, just given it's a home game, and he copped a lot of criticism last week for the way he set up his store.
Will
Mourinho go?
Yeah, you're not
would
going
he
to
be
change
bolder?
Mourinho. I'd still say if he came out of that with a draw, it'd be.
Happy.
It wouldn't be over, but he wouldn't worry him too much. I think his plan is now is not to lose against these. You saw it at Liverpool. I mean, absolute disgrace when he went to Liverpool. But the fact is, he got a point against the Liverpool side, whose record against the top 6 have been really outstanding.
He's not going to win the league that way. He's going to be
he's
top
not
4.
gonna,
But
that's
yeah.
right. Not with the way Manchester
You need
City
to
are
show
going.
more ambition.
Sure,
But if you look
absolutely.
at-
You know.
If you look at United's home form, it's outstanding. I mean, they're winning every game at home. I know they've had.
But have a look who they've played.
Okay, that's
What's
also true.
Southampton? It's
Right.
something like
Well,
that.
that's exactly right.
Tottenham don't have Harry Kane. So
Yeah.
if they did have him, I'd say maybe there's a chance, but I don't think.
I like a low score and draw.
Yes.
Yeah, so do I. Rod, this is your old team, the team that you hate, against your new team.
But the question I want to ask you for my new team, right?
Yeah.
If there's so much emphasis on Harry Kane, then they can't be a contender. So what you're saying, if he gets injured for the rest of the year, they're gone.
Yeah, well, not
Well,
for the
that's
rest of the year.
No.
Yeah, but then they'd go into the marketplace and they'd spend in
You know,
January.
I'm trying to say that to you. If you're relying on one
but
player
I
and
told
such
you,
emphasis.
Lukaku, I said, when he left Everton, they can't take 27 goals away and replace him. They spent 140 million. He brought a player in from the Dutch league, thought he might be able to do the job. And you just, I mean, they're just not a bet. You just can't buy them. It's simple as that.
All right, so United's going to beat my new team because they haven't got Harry Kane. That's what
Well,
you're saying.
I think it improves their chances enormously. Harry Kane needs maybe 3 chances, and you bet he'll take 1 or 2 of those.
Okay.
That's the way he is. If you have a look at him over the last year, he's the top scorer in Europe over the last year. You know, in terms of league games, I'm talking about.
Remember when he was a one-season wonder?
Yeah, well, this is what I mean. But we all think that. I mean, you do it 1 year, can you do it the second year? And he's proved that he can.
on, yeah.
What would he be worth in the market, Terry?
He'd be worth probably now
120.
120, spot on.
Yeah.
120 spot.
and he's
you
improving.
can't replace goal scorers, good goal scorers, consistent goal scorers, and Harry Kane has proved that. Messi's proved that. Ronaldo's proved.
Abramovich has proved that. Abramovich.
Abramovich. You know, Aguero.
Just
all
go
of
with
those.
Brahma, please.
All of those have
What's his
proved.
name?
Ibrahimovic.
Ibrahimovic.
Or Zlatan.
Brahma.
Yeah.
Well, his
Brahma,
sister's
just called him
Brahma.
Brahma. Yeah, we know what you mean.
Abramovich is the owner of Chelsea.
So there, but a great. I mean, I'm looking forward to that very much. And,
Yeah.
and Tottenham, I've got a lot of time for them, you know. And I keep telling them, you know, they've still got Dembele to come back. They've still got Wanyama to come back to boost to that squad. I'm just a little bit concerned about who they're using at the back at the moment.
I think it'll be a complete waste of 90 minutes. Stick to Teletrack and watch the racing and have a bet with World Sports Betting on the football, because I think low draw is probably the way to go. On to the next game. Watford, the surprise
I
package
like
against
even
a
money.
bad Stoke side.
I like even money about Watford.
That's
I
my
really
bet on-
do.
I know it's early
think
doors.
The most improved side in the Premiership.
100%. But how's my bet? Early doors and Stoke to get relegated. I
Yeah,
said
you
at the end
did
of
say
last
that.
season.
You did say that. Yeah, yeah.
And
What do you-
Stoke Stoke can't win away from home.
No, exactly. It's terrible record away from home. Watford have improved. I mean, look at the game at Chelsea. Although they went down 4-2, frightened the life out of Chelsea, didn't they, last week before they... But that was only in the last few minutes. So for Watford, for me, even money. The boy who scored the goal against Chelsea, he's injured, by the way.
Richarlison?
No, Pereira, I think his name is. He's got a hamstring in here, so he won't be available.
Well, I think Watford, they've proven, obviously they lost to Chelsea, but they beat Arsenal. They've proven that they can score goals.
Quite right.
So they get one or two against...
what a good player he is.
Yeah.
20-year-old
He won't be at Watford
Brazilian.
next season.
No, he won't. You're right.
If they just get one or two against Stoke, I don't think Stoke can...
No, I agree. I think even money, I think that's a really good bet.
Bad side, Stoke. Said that for a long time. On to the next game. Crystal Palace are in action. A battling Crystal Palace against a battling West Ham. Although Slaven Bilic did himself some favours during the week, coming back from the dead, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. 2-0 down against Tottenham. Come back to get beat 3-2. I mean, it was a lifesaver for him. I'm not quite sure, where his job is. They say he's got 2 league games to put it right. Well, he's got a chance at Crystal Palace, although what can you say about Crystal Palace? I mean, they beat Chelsea, didn't they, in their home, and then they go away to Bristol City and get beat 4. But he did make 10 changes to the team, so it was virtually the reserve side, although he was bitterly disappointed with the display. I can't work that game out. It's a game that's going to be very tight again, maybe a score draw.
If you can't work it out, draw's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, absolutely right, because West Ham obviously going to try and build on what was in the end a very good result for them.
They got momentum.
That's a good word, momentum.
That's
good
a shocking word. It's
well
made
done.
up by
no,
the...
Rog, that's your word, momentum. Well done, Rod.
I take it you don't
I'm
have any
going to take the
insurance.
draw. I've left that
used to
game
it.
alone. I can't make up my mind.
All right, on to the next game. I actually want to ask Ricky about this because it's Man City in action at West Brom. Yes, we all think Man City will win the game. How much money is on Man City to win the league? Lots.
Well, I mean, everyone took their bets earlier. I mean, Man City's very short to win the league at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to get much of a price at the moment. But the guys have taken Man City when the league started, and obviously 2-3 weeks back.
What price was that when they before the season?
Well, they started off at 19 to 10. A couple of weeks ago, they were 7 to 10, and I looked the other day, and they were 2 to 11. So
Sure.
that's a very short price. It's not worth taking it now. But I've got an interesting take on this game. West Brom lost by 1 goal to Man City a few weeks back. I know it was a cup game, but I think they might be able to get a draw here.
Haven't won in 8 games. Yeah. Lost to Southampton last week, so that just tells you something.
Southampton?
Yeah, we beat them, mate.
Did you score?
We did. In the dying, brilliant. They made the substitute on Buffon. I said, here comes the clown. And he picks it up deep with his own half, runs right the way through and sticks it away. Yeah. It was a great goal. Anyhow, but and West Brom have got massive injury problems, by the way. I don't know if you picked that up. Evans, centre-back, looks like he's going to miss 8 and 1 or 2 others as well. City in absolute certainty.
This is how you guys are currently betting, by the way. 2 to 9 Man City. Second favourite Spurs. They almost 10 to 1. They're 19 to 2.
Yeah, they're well clear.
It's quite strange that they put Spurs ahead of United for the league.
United are 12 to 1.
They tied on points.
Your people.
They're tied on points. I mean, United are 12 to 1 because it just takes one slipper from City, and then when United plays them, and they're already ahead of them. So I think, obviously, City now that's gone 2 to 9. They obviously are massive favourites, but I think 12 to 1 United is still a good bet.
Really, to win it?
To win the league.
Really?
Well, I mean, if City slip up once and then United beat them,
it's all if so, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they don't.
But I'm talking. I think on the balance of probabilities, 12 to 1 is not a bad bet.
No.
But you know what? City are going to slip up. And last season, when they slipped up for the first time, they couldn't bounce back.
Yeah, no, but they're a different squad this year. Goodness me, they've grown in stature as a team. He's got his feet under the table now. He knows more about what how are you going to stop them scoring? Although, of course, it was 0-0 during the week in the Cup. They had to get through on penalties, wasn't it? But, they're going to have those games. But I just think generally the way it's going. The only thing about it all is, of course, you've got the Champions League. You've got to bear that in mind. They've all got big, massive games coming up during the week. Tottenham got Real Madrid. I mean, goodness me, you can't get any bigger than that. So everybody's got, all those teams have got commitments in the Champions League. And I don't know what it is before the Champions League and after the Champions League. There seems to be a little bit of drop in form, but I just wonder if it's going to make any effect this
So what
weekend.
are you saying?
Well, no,
Put
I
as
mean,
much
that's
as you
why
can
Harry Kane's not playing. I think if
Save him for Real Madrid.
waiting for Real Madrid, they've got to get him right for that.
Oh, he's not injured.
He's got a slight hamstring, slight. They said, but when you say that, you know they don't want to take any chances with Real Madrid coming up. So there we are.
Next. What's on next? Let's talk about the fixture between Liverpool and Huddersfield. Liam, your team, your beloved Reds against Huddersfield. Would you be taking 1-4 about Liverpool?
This is going to sound silly, but I kind of like them in this one. This will be quite a revealing game about Liverpool because you need a reaction. They need a reaction from what happened last week. I mean, they got this thrashing in London. So it will tell us something about the players at Klopp's disposal, and it will also tell us something about Jurgen Klopp. And I know you've got a theory about the man for the last how many months.
Don't you?
He's a fraud.
And the way they go about playing a side that is coached or managed by a very good friend of his.
Yes.
In this instance. Yeah. It will tell us a lot about Liverpool. But I think there will be a reaction. I think it'll be a positive one. I think they'll win.
So do I.
Do you?
Absolutely right. I think Liverpool are a good thing.
Hey, but that's a good, decent side.
I don't like Huddersfield. I think they'll be in the
They're
relegation
small,
battle come the end of the season.
Didn't they beat United last week?
Yeah, but anybody beat United the way they set up their teams. Good gracious, absolute disgrace.
The one question mark, however, is doesn't look like Philippe Coutinho's playing. So
That's right. That's
that
there's the only day.
Why has he got on strike again?
No, he got injured during the week in a training session apparently, and we'll have to wait and see about that. That would be a blow. You're absolutely right. If he wasn't playing, but even so, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
If they can't beat a Huddersfield at home, then I think Mr. Klopp could well be in trouble.
Do you reckon he could go as well?
Well,
not just yet, but I think what is happening gradually is that this
They're
big
finding
reputation that he has is being diluted with each passing
Because
week.
of people like Terry and I who say he's a fraud.
Is he running out of excuses, Terry?
well, I think he is, and I just think what he spent. I think we haven't seen a return. Certainly defensively, they're all over the place. I mean, I wouldn't know what kind of performance defensively you got. I mean, he took his main centre back off after 31 minutes at Tottenham because he was having an absolute nightmare. You could have took him and Matip, I'll be honest with you, and it wouldn't have made any difference. So then you've got to rebuild that again during the week, because he'd probably play him again, wouldn't he? Lovren, I would imagine.
And you've got to ask questions about his fallout with Mamadou Sakho. We don't quite know what happened there, the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah.
But he had a world-class defender who plays for France, who obviously he's young, but he's experienced enough. And he just
couldn't handle that. That's what I'm saying, So that's why I said there's question marks about him. And if he couldn't beat a Huddersfield, I can let you know the Liverpool supporters there, the old on Merseyside, the old radio with the questions are becoming in thick and fast there.
Is that with the cop that sucks the ball in there?
No, they'll blow him away. Yeah. That's the opposite effect.
Blowing it away at the moment. Quite right. Yeah.
On to the next game. We're going to the Emirates. Arsenal against Swansea. Now, my opinion on Arsenal remains, even though I got them right last week, wouldn't be taking a price like this about Arsenal. Terry, do you agree? I mean, listen, Swansea.
I think they are the biggest search today. And I'd go as many goals as you want. I'd go 4 or 5 goals.
Impressive last week, Terry.
Yeah, brilliant. Did you see them against Everton? I told you, absolutely brilliant.
Yes, I
so enjoyed that game. Those 3 up front, the movement they had was absolutely...
It's the best game Ozil played in 2 years. He
went tipping. He's not going against Arsenal.
He hasn't got
telling you leave Arsenal out of everything.
Yeah. I got the opposite of it. I think Arsenal's a great banker today.
Absolute
great
banker.
You're the only one.
He hasn't got a clue.
No. Well,
no, you're absolutely, and well over 2.5. I don't know if you do a score, don't you? Go 4 or 5.
You can take 2.5.
Have a few bucks on 4 goals, 5 goals.
You can take anything over 2.5, 3.5, 4.5.
Absolutely right.
1.5.
Fill your boots. I'm telling you now.
So
they're in great form.
Why don't you just take the cash out and give it to him now?
He can't even see the outsiders of the races when they're coming late.
Oh, did you see that yesterday?
I saw that yesterday,
what race is that? Where he was calling the field and this horse come down the outside.
Whoosh.
Yeah, did you see that?
Look at his face.
There's been lots of complaints already.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You were at the GPS shop. You never saw it.
I was watching on
my other thing.
GPS. Was anything I could get. Anyway, bad luck.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're absolute certainties.
Next game, Bournemouth-Chelsea. This is tonight again. Chelsea 13-20. For me, I'm staying out.
Oh,
well,
thank goodness.
I haven't actually. I've had a bet here.
Have you?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Well, I just like a little bit. Bournemouth would have a go. That's the way they are. They get on the front foot. They want to score a goal. I'm a little bit worried. King, their main striker, is very quick up front. he's doubtful, so I'm a bit worried about that. I've gone for the draw.
And I agree. Chelsea looks a little bit unsettled
Vulnerable.
at the moment.
And again, it's all come out during the week.
See that?
They're phoning the
Texting behind his back and all
the
that.
ex-coach who was there and asking him about the training methods. I mean, he was so upset, and I don't know if you saw, he was so upset in his media chat with the, and had a go at the press and saying you're making the stories up and that's very unfair. Nothing like this has happened, but it's been going on for 3 or 4 weeks now, and you've got to bet that somebody behind the scenes has done something, and they've picked up on it in the press. So, I've just gone for the draw, just to make up a bet there for myself. I'm going to take the draw. I could well be wrong. Chelsea could well blow.
But
them
yeah,
away.
the overall point is all is not well with Chelsea. I mean,
That's right. There's something wrong.
Something bubbling under the
Absolutely
surface.
Right. So I've just give Bournemouth the benefit of the day. They'll probably get blown away 3 or 4, but I've just thought that's not a bad bet.
South Coast Derby, your guys against Brighton. Brighton have actually impressed. I mean, they're not flashy, but they're well organised.
They
know
are.
how to get the job done.
That is well done. You've got something right for a change. Yep. They are well organised, and I think we'll have a bit of a fight on our hands. It's one of our closest games, just down the South Coast, South Coast Derby. And Lamina, our midfield player's out with an ankle injury.
Saw that, Lamina.
I'm a bit worried about that, obviously. But I was encouraged last week. We had a bit of a go against West Brom. We at least, try to create things, and we get on the front four a lot more. Again, if I was going to, I'd settle for a draw here. I really would.
At the Amex, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But Brighton are capable of winning. There's no doubt about that. But I just feel that we're quite well organised.
Yeah, you're not going to concede.
From midfield defensively, I'm more than happy. It's the front, where we've really struggled.
Why don't you make a comeback?
Well, I've had a few phone calls.
Have you?
I have, yeah. Put my boots
Want to
on.
stay away?
Yeah, can't cross the ball.
Right, next game. Let's just quickly round it up. Leicester, who have got your old guy, Claude Puel, against Everton, who don't have any guy.
He just walked into the place. That's not going to make a lot of difference.
Bad football clubs, these.
Yeah. Well, they are. I mean, in Everton again, you've got David Unsworth, of course, who's Everton
Toffee,
through and through, played over 300 games for them as a player, has been the under-23 coach there, loves the club. A lot of people wish that he'd be given the job, but of course, as we know at the moment, they're looking for a manager. Leicester City have done the change. They've made the change. Is that going to make a difference? Again, where do you go? 2 new managers. Everton are struggling. Leicester have been struggling.
That's a difficult one.
Difficult one to predict, isn't
I'd
it?
probably go with Leicester.
Just fractionally, yeah.
Also Everton, away from home. Koeman's gone.
Yeah.
I feel like I got no sense of direction, but that's a difficult one to.
We'll get him a
to call.
GPS.
Yeah.
But maybe the
rather
shackles
than
are off. No,
GPS.
that's the other way to look
Well,
at it.
that's
Maybe
right. If they, I mean, David Unsworth is fighting for the job. He wants the job. I'm not quite sure how he's going to approach it. As you say, he might throw the shackles off and have a go. Are they good enough at the back to withstand what Leicester have got, Vardy and company? Yeah, I like you. If I was going to have a bet, which I'm not, I'll probably just come down on Leicester's side. Yeah.
And the Monday night game, it's Burnley against Newcastle at Turf Moor. Terry, Monday night, only game to watch. So
Yeah, Burnley, well, are they going to keep their manager? I mean,
another audition for him. This one.
he could be well on his way to Everton, and I'm sure as loyal as he is and as loyal as they've been to him as well, the club, I'm sure if a club like Everton came along, they'd have to consider it.
That might actually be a nice fit.
Yeah, that's right. I think
perfect. If he is going to move forward, that's a perfect
I believe that's the kind of manager they need. I think they need what we call a local manager, an English manager who's been there, done it. And as you know, and everybody speaks very highly of him. Whether Burnley, obviously there'd be compensation involved. Whether he wants to go, but he's got to move sooner or later. He can't stay at Burnley forever. You know.
And the thing is, Everton is Premier. You secured a job in the Premier League. They're always in the Premier League.
That's
They're
right.
Up and down.
We're in the bottom
You don't know where
3
you're
at the
going.
moment.
At the moment, no, desperate at the moment. But I mean, remember they finished 7th last year? I think it was.
Yeah. They got into the Europa League. The
got into
Europa League's
Europa
an
League.
evil competition.
Yeah, and which they failed in that as well.
And the other good thing about him, he speaks highly himself.
You think
The
so?
Burnley manager.
Really? You think so?
His voice. Come on.
Oh, his voice, yeah, highly of himself, very good, yeah.
Oh, come on, tell.
Yeah, a bit slow there.
That was lost on all of us. To be
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, especially Rob.
Right, Telkom knockout. There was one game played yesterday. Platinum Stars
Who won
got
it?
through. Platinum Stars won in
Did
penalties. got past Maritzburg United and wet Maritzburg. Here today's game, I'm actually going to ask Ricky because Terry's looking at this page going, what? Ricky? Telkom knockout?
Well, looking at the prices, I think, I'd go with, I know some going with a lot of outsiders today. I'd go with Ajax, Cape Town. I think it's a good price.
Okay.
Pirates as well. I mean, they had that boring draw with Kaizer Chiefs in the Soweto derby. I think they need a.
You sound surprised.
Yeah,
We got
Others are going well,
happens quite
though.
often.
Supersport won in Africa.
Yeah, they went to Tunisia.
That was a hell of a result.
I think you'll find us at the first time they've won in
My pick of the fixtures is I'd probably go with the Kaizer Chiefs and Bidvest Fits double. I think,
100%. Well said. Exactly the same as me.
and ignore everything else.
Exactly the same
You
as
think
me.
they beat Free State Stars? What a
Free State Stars are bad.
they beat. Have a look at every time they beat Wits.
Wits on an upward curve. Gavin
They
Hunt's
went
now
away at
got them
Barocca
back.
1-0. Yeah, quite right. Even money again. Yeah, I like that kind of. But Free State Stars have had them. I'll tell you now. You have a look at the. You have a look.
Okay, well, come on, expert.
Barocca. You fancy to beat Cape Town? They can't win. Benny McCarthy lost the last 3
Problem
games.
with Barocca is that they look like a flash in the pan side.
Well, are they a side that then
They can't
they're gonna
continue.
fall away? Absolutely. The goalkeeper's back though, isn't he?
And back from the awards.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Didn't win though.
Comes second here, but gets invited to the World one. How do you work that out?
No, exactly right. Exactly right.
Surprised you know that.
Yeah.
Mate, I follow
He
all the
really
sport.
reads them all, mate. He's done well lately.
The reading part's hard to believe. Okay, so Chiefs for you as well. Label them.
I think you'd have to go for Chiefs, wouldn't you? I mean, I wouldn't normally. I wouldn't go away from Wits. I'm just worried about that history they've got against the Free State Stars. But even money, I love teams at home that are even or better, in any league.
Okay, so that's what we got for you. Don't forget about the poker that has been going on. We are now behind the main tournament at Empress Palace, which World Sports Betting were involved in, Ricky.
Yeah, we were involved in the main sponsorship there. That's the whole thing's over. It was a great event. I mean, we played in the charity event. It's
that was
nice to
good
do
fun.
something for a good cause as well.
Can I just ask you? Did you see in England? Did you see the top poker player?
Falavi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Big trouble.
Yeah, amazing. He lost his case, eh? Incredible.
What happened?
It's not like he has to give the money back.
Eight of the
He never
shoes,
got the money.
eight of the whatever they were playing. He could the cards, the way they came out. There was the thing on the edge of the cards, and he could memorise
the edging.
Yeah, the edge, and he could memorise the edging.
Oh, the way the cards were cut.
Yeah, the way
yeah.
but it was the edging of the cards where they were smaller on the queens and the king, or whatever it was, and he could read them, and he took them for a fortune.
And
they
that was
refused-
happening at
7
our
million.
poker event.
Yeah,
7
and they
million.
refused to pay out, so he took them to court, and he lost it. They said he was cheating.
So we must close his eyes when the cards get dealt. It's not his fault, is it?
Well, I'm just saying it's
It's not his fault. It's just the way the cards are
They
cut.
work out.
Yeah, but the court found that he was cheating.
7 million quid, or was it dollars?
It was dollars, I think.
Dollars. It was dollars.
Phew, 7 million would be out of it.
Yeah,
wouldn't
wouldn't
it?
it? But
the
Rick spent
WPT
nearly
was
that
great.
much.
In the court case.
Yeah.
Quite right. I think what Ricky said is absolutely right. WPT last week, world class.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of top poker players in South Africa as well. There's a lot of
They've
great
actually
guys.
gone to the main events in Vegas a number of years and actually held their own. Raymond Rami being the first one.
And we had a lot of guys. There were a lot of guys coming from overseas as well to play in the main events. I think the main events overall, I think it was over 400 entries.
Oh, really?
So they built up a nice prize pool, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every
What was
time.
first prize for this one?
It was over R1 million, but the top 4 guys made a deal. I don't know what the deal was between them, where obviously
Whoever won, they
you
split.
know, they split the winnings. They predetermined it beforehand. Of once they got to that top 4, they all got quite a nice payout. But I think they deserved it. They came to quite a big field.
Yeah, top class. Really enjoyed my night out there at the charity
How did
event.
You were there again.
Yeah.
You don't miss out, do you?
I got invited.
Whoosh.
Where was your invite?
Rubbish.
Where did you finish?
I finished 12th in the charity.
There was only 10 in it. They couldn't have finished 12.
Rod won his in Australia.
You
won
play
yours.
with macaroni.
He won the celebrity one when we all sat round the table.
What, that,
You won it.
that thing in
Australia.
Yeah, I didn't win it. How did I
He won
win?
the media one when it was restricted to about 12 of us.
Yeah.
Rod, we're going over to
Yep.
Moonee
Where is it?
Valley.
Twinks. Here we go.
Pardon?
Winks.
40 winks.
Yep. 20.
Looking
Is it
for
going
22.
for 22?
22.
And the
22.
record is 25 by Black Caviar. Is that right? Am I
Yep.
correct with that?
I remember, what was Black Caviar's record? I think it
it's
was
24,
25.
something
Yeah.
Right, we need to go there.
Yeah.
Big build-up, getting into
Huge.
the Cox Plate. Can she make it her third Cox Plate? She's very, very short for us. In fact, we're just going to love this, embrace this, and shout home Winks with Rod's flag.
All right, there she is, the great mare. She looks an absolute $1 million. Take a look at her punters. We'll get back to her in a moment. $1.20, $1.10 in New South Wales, $1.20 on the U-Bet tote. Let's get back to Moonee Valley.
And I don't think there'll be a horse on the track today that can beat her. She looks absolutely fantastic. And Hugh Bowman just left the mounting yard and took a deep breath. I think everyone's about to take a deep breath watching her go out onto the track and make history. But if I'm looking for something that perhaps can finish in behind her, I thought the best looking horse in the field, bar Winks, was Royal Symphony.
Big push there by Jane Ivel for Royal Symphony, but Winks without a doubt the pick of the yard. And listen to the ovation from the massive crowd as the two-time champion of the WS Cox Plate makes her way out onto the track. She looks in a magnificent order, David Gately, as she just walked past our host set, and the dapples on dapples on dapples. She looks stunning.
Yeah, look, what a freak of nature, and how calm Hugh Bowman. He's seen it all before. He knows he just has to go and do his job, whether it's you know, at Kembla in a Class 1 or in a Cox Plate. He knows the drill now, and he looked calm and relaxed himself.
All right, that is the field for the Group 1 Ladbrokes Cox Plate. They're making their way to the start. We'll head back into the studio now for the bull ring.
Well, we'll just keep watching this freakish thoroughbred mare as she makes her way to the barrier. She is a freak, there's no doubt about that, an absolute freak. And if you're watching us in Singapore, and if you're watching us all around the world, it's our pleasure to bring you these pictures of one of the greatest race mares of her time. $1.18 she is fixed. She's out from $1.16, so if I was sounding ridiculous, I'd say she has blown in the market from $1.15 to $1.17, but I wouldn't ever say that about her. But she's $1.16 out from $1.15. Nothing backed to beat her at all. Royal Symphony is 15 to 17. Folkeswood 26 out to 31. So there's literally nothing at all been backed to beat this absolutely freakish mare. Winks $1.17, fixed odds Royal Symphony 20, 21 Galo Chop, Folkeswood 26, Happy Clapper 31, Humidor 31, Seaburge 121, and Hardham 126. Okay, well, the market on your screen again, and Winks on the tote $1.20. And we can take you back to the track on Tabcorp International. Welcome to our viewers in Singapore. Sit back and enjoy what should be a momentous occasion in Australian thoroughbred racing.
Leader. I mean, he led and kicked him on the Caulfield Stakes very obviously. I don't know from what they've seen in the first 8 races today if they're going to steer away from that tactic. I think it's their best chance of, you know, perhaps causing an upset or at least getting into second if he's able to lead on the rail. I'd expect Folkeswood to be up there as well, and perhaps Seaburge can be more handy from that inside draw, but Galo Shop looks the logical leader.
With the way that that we've seen most of the races unfold throughout the afternoon, there's been good pacing, quite a few races. We saw that in the mile just a little bit earlier. They went at a brutal tempo from a long way out.
Yeah, they did that, and look, I just wonder what's going through the mind of those with Galo Shop. I think you know, they would have been pretty excited about what they've seen so far today, and I think they'll probably roll along. The problem they've got is if they get it wrong and you know, and they set too strong a speed, all it'll do is just play into her hands, given she's just such a freak endurance athlete. She just absorbs all that speed. Look, I think it's irrelevant either way, but yeah, they just have to get it exactly right to give themselves the best chance up front.
All right, Hayley Moore, let's get your thoughts on the Cox Plate and just this occasion here with this massive build-up, and all about Winks as she looks cool, calm and collected behind the gates.
Yeah, she looks absolutely terrific, and it's just nice to see that she's gone out down here looking very relaxed, nicely on her toes as well. And I just wouldn't, if I was Connections, I'd be feeling pretty happy with what I'd seen, and she certainly looks as though she's gotten down to the post really well as well.
All right, they're behind the gates now, and Winks just being led back to the barriers there with Hugh Bowman. And this massive crowd here in attendance. The sun's out, which is just lovely to see. Gator, we were here 12 months ago. It was vastly different conditions for a Cox Plate on that occasion. Just a marginal ease. Victorian official prices for Winx, $1.16 out to $1.18.
Yeah, I think the rank and file punters have placed their bet, and I think a lot of people just want to have their $5 and $10 on to say they backed into a third Cox Plate when they're 100 years old.
All right, the build-up is enormous. This is the big one of the day, the 97th running of the Group 1 Ladbrokes Cox Plate. Let's welcome Matt Hill.
Thank you very much, Shane, and about to be called forward for the Ladbrokes Cox Plate. It's a Cox Plate like no other, really. The great horses over the years have managed to go up against some very good horses and beat them. Today, we see a race meeting almost about one horse. Moving forward for the Ladbrokes Cox Plate, Winx goes into the stalls, Hardham is in, Sea Burge is in barrier number 1. Royal Symphony, the 3-year-old, goes forward. Galo Chop is in. Humidor, along with Happy Clapper, to take their positions. As Humidor goes in, there's a barrier attendant with Winx. She's a little bit anxious there in the gates. Folkeswood, Karen McAvoy wearing a white distinguishing cap. Winx is a little bit edgy. She's a little bit edgy there in barrier number 5. An attendant with the great mare. And here is Happy Clapper. We're about to witness an epic 2 minutes of sport. Winx is quite edgy. They're ready for the Cox Plate, set, they're racing. And Winx got away cleanly. Galo Chop towards the inside of her was away the best. From Sea Burge on the inside, and not far away is Hardham, and they were followed by Folkeswood with the white cappers booting up. Now Winx is 4 and 5 deep, just staying out of trouble at the moment. Royal Symphony behind her, followed by Happy Clapper, and 2 lengths away to Humidor. So they head towards the mile. 1600 out, Galo Chop the pilot by a length and a half, 2 in second Folkeswood, so no surprises. 2 further back is Hardham, third the outside of Sea Burge. A couple of lengths to Winx, followed by Humidor. Royal Symphony at the back, 1 off the fence, and Happy Clapper 3 deep around it. They head towards the top corner with 1,300 metres to go. Galo Chop in front by a length and a half to Folkeswood. 2 lengths Sea Burge on the inside of Hardham. 2 lengths to Winx, the outside of Humidor at the 1,200. Then Happy Clapper and Royal Symphony on the rails is at the end, heading towards halfway now. 1,000 metres to go in the Cox Plate, and it's Galo Chop in front by a length. Second is Folkeswood. 2 further back in the field, Hardham the outside of Sea Burge. Then came Winx. Next Humidor, Happy Clapper. Royal Symphony is last of all towards the side at the 800. Galo Chop in front trying to dictate 3/4 of a length Folkeswood. Then came Hardham. Winx peels to the outside now. Then came Sea Burge, Humidor, Happy Clapper and Royal Symphony. So with 600 to go, Galo Chop in front, but here comes Winx on the outside, sliding up now. We've waited 35 years for this, and Winx moves up to Galo Chop, followed further back by Folkeswood between them. 2 further back, Humidor and Royal Symphony. It's Galo Chop at the 350. Winx on the outside. Bowman hasn't moved yet. The valley's rocking and the world is knocking. Winx goes to the front. 200 to go. Humidor to the outside. It's Winx in front by a length. Humidor on the outside is trying hard. It's Winx in front. Humidor's coming at her. Winx is holding on. The great mare completes the great trilogy of the turn. Winx has won the Cox Plate by a half length. Second Humidor, a gap to a photo Folkeswood, Royal Symphony, Galo Chop also not far away off those, followed by Happy Clapper, and Sea Burge was at the tail of the field. Winx has done it, but she gave us a fright. She gave us a massive fright. Humidor has run the race of his life and will gain many admirers, but it is the mighty Winx. She's done it. The Queen joins the King. Relief for Chris Waller. What were you thinking with 100 to go? Humidor was really picking up on Winx, but she's done it. She was agitated at the stalls and really fractious before they let them go. She was able to settle and then let loose, but she didn't exactly race away from them. Galo Chop and Folkeswood and Winx, they're in a line of 3.
Absolutely brilliant. 22 wins in a row, 3 Cox Plates. She certainly had to knuckle down to hold off Humidor, and as the commentator said, he ran the race of his life. But Winks, the Wonder Filly, Australia's hero, Nato, make her everything. She has now won another Cox Plate. Absolutely brilliant. And where to next? I think South Africa needs to make a champion, may glorify a horse that captures the imagination, brings people back to the races. We'll chat about that in just a moment. Rod's got something to say. Techie Town weekly competition, the 1,000 Rand weekly Techie Town competition was won by Sean Gold. Last week's answer was C, Jason Dodd. So well done for getting that right. Right, of course, we all know Usain Bolt is coming out to the Sun Met at the end of January, so can't wait to see him out at Kenilworth for the big race. Cape Town's biggest race and one of the greatest races in the world as well. What shoe company sponsors Usain Bolt? Is it A, Puma? Is it B, Jaguar? Is it C, Tiger? Tigger. Right. Please answer with your name and surname. Competition closes on Monday at 6 o'clock. SMS your answer to 44472. Terms and conditions apply. SMS costs 50 cents per entry. Standard rates apply. No free SMSs. No one should get that one wrong. Rod, your flag is out.
Brilliant, mate.
Absolutely
What's
brilliant.
that, 23?
22.
22. Not bad,
Brilliant.
I see they're top-rated turf horse in the world.
Yeah, it is at the moment. Yeah, above.
But we're actually lucky. If you think about the world, there's Cracksman, there's Enable, there's Winks. Some great horses around, aren't there?
They may meet, I think, might they, later on in the year, maybe. Or
Enable and
next
Winks.
year, yeah.
Why, is Enable coming out to Australia?
No, they wouldn't allow
Well,
them.
why is that? I knew you were going to say that.
Well,
why
they wouldn't allow them.
Well, if you have to come to the champion. You don't go to the petty cash vouchers.
No, but you know.
They both. Who's the champion though? It's subjective. I mean, I personally think Enable would beat Winks.
Oh,
I wouldn't
think
take
he'd
her out
carry
of
it
the
on
country.
his shoulders.
She's won now 16 Group 1s. What more does she need to do? Six-year-old mare.
Where's she won? In Australia.
Well, where's Enable one? In
Everywhere.
She just won the Arc.
Yeah, that's in France, by
Yeah,
the way.
but it's
like England's here,
it's
and
like-
France is over there, and you fly over, or you can catch the
To be
ferry.
fair, doesn't Enable need a record to go around it?
It's like a
Doesn't
caravan
Enable
trip.
need a?
A record. An unenviable one.
Unenviable.
It's like taking a little caravan trip to get to France. You can swim it. People swim across.
Ooh, 22 hours, you can get across.
Well, how long is it going to take in a boat? 15?
Like that, you can go it like that, or you can go it like that, but you can get across.
Anyway. All good. Thank you.
So you say Winks?
I'm just saying, if you #1 rated in the world, the
Wait,
the
you know, this is
champion
probably the
doesn't
wrong
go
time
there.
to have the conversation. Let's wallow in the glory of another great win. Third
Quite
Cox
right.
Plate, 22 wins. Well done. Wave your flag. That's probably the best thing that Dean's ever done for us, by the way. Bring that flag back for you.
I'll sneak along. Yep, there we go.
All right, best bets time. Let's see what's going on this weekend, see what the panel have come up with. I reckon the Sharks to win the Currie Cup. If they win by a point, I'll take it. Watford, Man City and Wolves all to win. That comes to 3-1, Terry.
Very nice.
And then
Well,
Aston Villa to beat the Scum in the second City derby.
Oh,
14-10.
you're going for the boys.
Yes, what do you think about that, by the way?
Well, I mean,
Birmingham are 22nd, Villa are 5th.
I know, yeah, well, Villa should. I mean, they're struggling in Birmingham, aren't they? Just changed the manager again. And I just struggle. But, you know, it is a big Midlands derby. There's no two bigger sides of those two. That's
Will
for
be a
sure.
few
How's
arrests.
this for outsiders today? I'm
Is
going to
this
go with
yours?
New Zealand to beat India. I know it's 1-1.
Okay, you
It's
nuts.
1-1.
That's out. Next.
No, and hang
Carry
on,
on,
whoa.
carry on, carry
Yeah, I was stiff last week. I was stiff. I got beat half a point. In half a point. Anyway, 5-1 the double. There you go. I'm taking a bit of a chance.
Right, next.
violin.
Liam, what have you done?
Old Trafford, not many goals. And then, as I said earlier, I think Liverpool will get up this weekend, and then there's an all to come. Hamilton to seal the title, the Sharks to win, and then Federer to win at
Good
home.
coverage, that. Well done, Neil.
That,
To be fair, is a little bit of a Terry Payne bit.
Well, it's all to come, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It'll work. Terry,
Watford to beat Stoke, as I said, Arsenal to beat Swansea, City to beat West Brom, Liverpool to beat Huddersfield, Bournemouth to draw with Chelsea, Man United to draw with Tottenham below 20 and below 2.5
That second
goals.
last one, now to draw, is that a score draw or a no score draw? Do you have to define that?
No, that's just the.
So don't answer that, please. Good.
But Terry, that's a
gracious.
good. I like Terry's all to
I
come.
don't agree with him.
If it's a 0-0, is it a draw?
I like Terry's.
I know you can have a score draw and you can have a no score draw, can't you?
So it's a draw then, is
Yeah,
it?
but I wasn't too.
Brilliant.
Just asking.
Yeah. We just told you. You like that?
I like
Lebanon.
all to come. It's
Yeah.
Do you?
Of course.
All right,
Pretty
well,
solid.
that's pretty much that. We've got about 5 minutes of show left. It's the last of World Sports Betting. Ricky, from all of us, to you and to Warren and the rest of your team at World Sports Betting, thank you for what you've done for us. The shirts that you guys have provided us have been world-class. But, yeah, I hope that we've done you guys proud.
Well, look, I think the brand exposure we've got, and from this entire, the duration that we've been involved in the show is fantastic. And it was also nice to deal with so many people, knowledgeable people. The banter's been great around. The banter's been great. Like I said, it's been great from our side. I just want to thank everyone. From you guys, the panelists, obviously Gary, the legend, he's missing here today, and all the staff at Teletrack. Thank you for making it a possibility. All our viewers will miss you, but I think it's really been a positive experience.
Yeah. You're not going too far, because your betting will still be out on Teletrack, and you'll still do your bit for sponsorships and supporting the game and everything else.
You'll still see us around everywhere. At least Terry's got a couple of spare shirts now as well.
Yeah.
So he can keep it as
Dog, no one wants the ones with the dog here, but I heard you want mine back.
But yeah, it's been great from us. I just want to say thanks to everyone, and yeah, we'll be back, and we'll still be out there, and you'll see us everywhere.
Wonderful stuff. So World Sports Betting buying out. Of course, next week will be a new look. Rod, thank you very much. Don't forget to follow Liam to the airport.
Please don't leave without me, please.
For the first kilometre, I think.
Can you speak Spanish?
Tow him.
Because I think mine's on Spanish. That's why I don't understand it. Now you change that.
Is it?
Yeah. It says to you,
Oh,
por favor.
Por favor.
Well, that's Spanish.
Por favor.
Right, I'll see you in PE tomorrow.
I will do.
Liam, enjoy the rugby, enjoy the Currie Cup final.
Thank you, my 16th.
Is it? Your 16th. Well done,
Sweet
matey.
16th.
Very good.
What's that?
16th Cup final.
How many cup finals have you been to?
About 5 FA Cup finals.
All right, well, enjoy, because I know you're going to be watching lots of football.
No, I
some
am.
racing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Too
Man
cold for
United,
golf?
Tottenham. Yep, absolutely.
Don't forget the Currie Cup final.
And the golf. Golf has been brilliant.
Yep.
That's on now, actually.
Yeah, almost be done third round. So that's pretty much that. Thanks again to World Sports Betting. Next week, completely different look. I wonder who's going to be on board. Enjoy your weekend. We'll chat to you again on Charity Mile Day on the 4th of November.